What's up, everybody? It's John Morgan. Listen, I want to just say thank y'all to everybody who has been supporting this podcast. I cannot grow this without the support of the community who allows me to grow. So thank y'all to everybody who's been supporting, everybody who's been sharing it, everybody who is a subscriber on YouTube, everybody who has purchased merch from me, everybody who just tells somebody, you know, through telling somebody in conversation, who shared these podcasts in your group text. Thank y'all. I cannot do this without you guys, so thank you for that. Right now, we want to ask for a specific type of support right now. If you can, stop what you're doing. Yes, you right now. Stop what you're doing. Stop what you're doing right now. Go to the YouTube channel and subscribe. Become a subscriber to this page, the Live Your Purpose Podcast YouTube channel. Become a subscriber. Like, share, tell somebody about it. But stop what you're doing right now. Go to your YouTube page and become a subscriber. Click it. Click subscribe on the YouTube page and become a subscriber of this page. It allows us to grow, and it allows us to touch different reach for different people. So please, if you call yourself a supporter, if you want to continue to see us grow and continue to see us build, stop what you're doing right now. Go to YouTube. Click that subscribe button. Like, thumbs up, all of that. Please, right now, Live Your Purpose Podcast. Peace. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Live Your Purpose Podcast. I'm your host, John Morgan Jr. Before we get into our wonderful guest for the day, man, allow me to just say thank y'all to everybody who has been supporting the pod. We coming off the heels of our first ever pop-up shop last Thursday at El Patron. Shout out to everybody who came through, man. That was a wonderful, wonderful event. I'm not just gassing it because it was mine. I'm really just being genuine. We had to reschedule. You know, we were supposed to have it the week before. And God's timing, man, divine order, bro, it happened the way it's supposed to. We ended up rescheduling, and it turned out to be better, you know, for the reschedule. Everybody showed up. We got a lot of support. Everybody said they had a wonderful time. It felt good. You know what I'm saying? The moment felt good. So I'm very appreciative of everybody who came out. So if you came out last Thursday, man, much love to you. If you bought some merch, much love to you, man. If you had a drink at El Patron with me, much love to you. Thank y'all so much. I don't ever take that for granted. Right now, if you can, man, go to the Live Your Purpose Podcast YouTube channel. Like the videos that you see. Also become a subscriber. If you want to go in and support and get any of the merch that we have right now, lypp.org. Again, that's www.lypp.org for the merch. All in all, again, man, thank you for the people who've been supporting. You know, I cannot do this without the support of the community that's been riding with me. So thank y'all. Again, man, for those, if it's your first time checking out the pod, Live Your Purpose Podcast is a space where, you know, we are intentional about highlighting entrepreneurs, specifically black entrepreneurs, to really get into their backstories about how they currently live in their purpose. You know, we want to have organic and authentic conversations with people, man, to really be able to inspire and encourage people. You know, we've had some wonderful guests, man. So we just gonna keep building and keep growing. And our next guest that we have, man, is none other than D-Rich himself, man. Listen, if you are invested into sports, you know what I'm saying, basketball specifically, even football for young people, it's no way you never heard of who D-Rich is, man. This dude got one of the biggest brands, if not the biggest brands for sports, man, in the world. You know what I'm saying? I
appreciate it, man.
Yeah, no problem, man. Thanks for coming out, bro.
Man, thank you for having me, for sure.
How you feeling, man?
Blessed to be here, man.
Yeah,
for real. How you doing?
I'm wonderful, man. Thanks for being a guest, bro.
For sure.
You are, man. I'm trying to even think, bro. The first time I even heard about the brand of D-RichTv, it had to be like 6-7 years ago. It was at a camp here, and I think I just went and I just seen you shooting your video. You had the camera with you.
Yep.
But again, I'm like, okay, that's dope. Like, you know what I'm saying? He doing his thing. He branding his own thing. But I really didn't become a social media person until like the last 2 years.
Okay.
So like, I think maybe 8 months ago, I think I seen maybe Brian repost a video or something. And I went to your page. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, Brett doing his thing. Like,
yeah.
And I went and did my homework on you, man, on your YouTube page. I'm like, no, he done built a real life brand, like
Right.
what he doing, man. So I think that what you doing is amazing, bro. So salute to you, bro.
Man, thank you, man. I appreciate the support.
Yeah, no problem, man. So the way that we want to do it, man, I want to get into like your whole story a little bit, you know, your backstory, man, and really kind of like be able to highlight D-Rich the guy, like, you know what I'm saying, before we even kind of got into the, you know, the branding side of things, man. So like, first and foremost, man, you know, being here from this city of Akron, bruh, when you reflect coming up in this city as a youngster, what you think back on when you think back of your early days coming up?
I think of like going to Bookto High School football games back when Claude Brown was there. That was a big part of my childhood. You know, Akron Pee Wee football, when it was really Akron Pee Wee football. You know,
Facts.
West, East, South. You know, just meeting a lot of people doing that.
Okay.
And LeBron, that was a big part of my childhood too. Just hearing stories about him and everything like that. So
Yeah.
when I think about Akron, those are the main things that stick with me for real.
Bro, it's so crazy that you say Pee Wee football, bro, because it's people that I met years ago from playing Pee Wee football that I still know to this day from playing Pee Wee, and I'm talking about when the cities was way different than what it is now.
Oh yeah, man. The shooters now, or people that's doing different stuff in the street, everybody played football back then, and that's how you knew everybody.
Yeah.
No matter who they were, they played football.
Yeah, that's a fact. And it was one league.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't no 5, 6, 7, 8 leagues. It was one league. You either played for West, East, Patterson, South, or the Hawks.
Yep.
That was it.
It wasn't no traveling league.
Nah. So that's a fact, man. Those who know, know. Listen, man, we coming off a historical year in 2020. I know for myself, man, I learned a hell of a lot about myself in 2020. Like, you know what I'm saying? The pandemic, obviously, I had my first child in 2020. I unfortunately lost my mother in 2020.
Damn.
So it was just it was forced reflection, you know what I'm saying, for me. What did you personally like learn about yourself in 2020? Just, you know, spiritually, mentally, just like, period. What you learned about yourself?
Yeah, the pandemic was definitely a rough spot for me, man. Just, you get time to sit and reflect on where you come to in your life, man. For me, it was a time for me to really reflect on what do I want to do in the future that I haven't done in the past, and like, you got to sit and really look at yourself in the mirror and like, do I really like who I'm becoming? And for me, I say yeah, but I got to use my voice like I used to do back in the day, because I feel like I put myself in a box and I'm like, I'm not really doing what I love doing. Like, I'm doing stuff and people see me filming basketball games, football games, but I'm not really using my voice to make a difference. And I said, man, I got to start talking the same way I do in the gym on the microphone, you know, like I used to do when I was in high school or in middle school, man. I stopped doing that for a while. I lost myself for a minute, but it really gave me time to sit down and think about what do I want to do in the future, and I figured it out.
Yeah, hey, that's interesting, man, that you say that. Talk a little bit more about that, like, you know, having to really find yourself behind this mic. You know what I'm saying? Because even myself, man, what I've learned about through doing this pod is that, like, bruh, it's such a process. It's just like getting comfortable and being yourself. And like when I look back at some of my earlier videos, it's like way cringy because I'm like, man, I ain't even really, you know what I'm saying, being myself all the way. And I had to like, you know, like, nah, bruh. Like you just said, I got to be my same self off this mic, you know, or I got to be my same self on this mic that I am off the mic.
Exactly.
But talk to me a little bit about like your process and like how you had to like, you know, realize that, yo, let me be myself, you know, I got a platform.
Yeah, man, you know, you watch a lot of people on TV and a lot of people try to emulate different people.
That's
and
it.
The thing about me is I never really emulated anybody. I would take little bits and parts from people, the way that they go about things, but I would never try to mimic exactly the way that they do things. Like, I would be like Stephen A. Smith. You know, some people say he's loud and some people like to call him ignorant, but I feel like he's just an energetic dude.
Yeah.
And ESPN kind of pushed that. You know, you look at Shannon Sharp, they trying to make Shannon Sharp kind of like Stephen A. Smith, but Shannon Sharp got his own way of going about things too.
Right.
Skip Bayless just say crazy stuff. I don't even think he believe half the stuff he say. It's so many different ways that you can go about how you want to do things, but at the end of the day, if you're not unique, it's not gonna stick for real, because people will know, oh, this dude trying to act like Charlamagne the God, or this dude trying to act like a DJ Envy or Star Reporter or Academics. You got to find your own lane, because all those people, believe it or not, Academics, Star Report. I don't know if you know about the Star Report.
Yeah, I'm just Star.
They all different and unique in the way they go about things. Charlamagne the God, like, everybody got their own way, and that's why they stick, because they're unique. You can't copy. So for me, I started at an early age, as you said, like 7-8 years ago. So I was just able to find myself throughout those years. If you go look at my old YouTube videos, you be like, damn, like dude really found himself, because I was speaking way different back then, and I found myself throughout the years, and I found something that I can stick to.
Man, who were some of your earliest influences, just like entrepreneurs or even just creatives as a whole, when you was a youngster? Not looking back on it, who were some of your influences?
Man, as a youngster, I wasn't really too much into we in a new day and age now. Like these kids nowadays, they can look at the internet and be like, oh, I'm influenced by this. Back in middle school, we didn't really have internet like that, so I wasn't really influenced by anybody that was an entrepreneur. Once I got out of high school, though, that's when I really started to look at different people like Stephen A. Smith. Like he was taking off at the time I got out of high school, so that's like the main person that everybody watched. But on the entrepreneur side, I never really had anybody growing up as a youngin' that I looked at to like, man, like, oh, he an entrepreneur, I want to do my own thing. Yeah. It's just something for me that organically happened. Like I always felt like I wanted to be the entrepreneur that I am today.
So man, what made you pick the camera up? Like how did it even come about? Like, you know what I'm saying? What was the moment, or you know what I'm saying, situation that happened for you was like, man, let me get behind this camera?
Well, I moved in with my grandma. I used to live with my grandma, and she had bought me a Mac computer, like $2,000. I don't know why she got it for me, but it was in the basement, and it had the camera on it and everything. And I used to get in front of the camera and goof around.
What year was this?
This was like 2009.
Okay.
Yeah, so
that's a big deal.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Right.
So then I went to school like a week later after I got that Mac, and my dude Gary Council, I'm a snitch him out on this one. He had got a camera that was hot. It was stolen, like a flip camera. And I seen him with the camera. I said, I used to burn CDs and sell CDs in school. I said, let me burn him like 10 CDs in exchange for that camera, because he just goofing around with it. I can actually use it. And once I did that, that's when things started to take off. Just going around the school with the camera, kind of vlogging, going to basketball games, filming it was a garbage camera for real, but I was just filming and doing like my own little mini report at halftime, just really finding myself. That's really when it started. And then I started to get notoriety at school. And like, damn, like people really rock with what I'm doing. Yeah. Like, because I went to Kenmore half a day for vocational, and people over there would know me. And then I go to Bookville, and people knew me there. It was like, it was crazy. I'm like, people really watching these videos, even though they only might have like 200 views. People in tune with what I'm doing. Like that's why it's always not important about the views you get. It's about who watching. Yeah. You know, so you can feel it.
Man, so that's so crazy, because in 2009, I graduated high school in 2007. 2009, Facebook is just kind of like becoming a thing. Like you had to have a college ID to even get on Facebook. So social media was not what it was.
It wasn't.
So what was the state of? Would you put these on YouTube then?
I would put them on YouTube. I didn't know nothing about thumbnails. I mean, I don't think they had thumbnails then. I used to just throw videos up and put crazy titles on them, and then I would go to Facebook and upload it on Facebook. Just a whole bunch of just random stuff.
So what was the state of YouTube though in 2009? I don't even remember.
I mean, Soulja Boy. That's why he my favorite. Matter of fact,
legend,
when you talk about entrepreneurship, that was the first person I looked at. He a legend, bro.
Yeah, he a legend.
Because he was the only person like really on YouTube going crazy. Yeah. Like, and I used to watch all his videos. I even bought a CD one time. That's how inspired I was by him. Just the stuff he was doing, bro. He was just going crazy on YouTube, and I saw that. I'm like, okay. So I started posting to YouTube, but it wasn't like it is now. Like, I didn't know nothing about monetization and making money off YouTube. It was just, I'm gonna post and whatever happened, you know. Same with Facebook. Facebook wasn't it like it is today. You can go viral on Facebook. It wasn't nothing like that. You had to really have like your own audience to come in and engage, not like now how it is.
Dang, that's so crazy, man. But being ahead of the game, because like you said, man, it's not back then. This is not anywhere near what it is today.
Oh no!
Like when kids, like, man, in 2009, if a kid told you they wanted to be a YouTuber,
oh, you laughing at them,
man? What?
Or even sell sneakers or anything? Like, you gonna be like, man, like you need to find another way, go to college. Like we in the world now, bro. That's why kind of throughout the pandemic, I kind of got like, I wouldn't say depressed, but I was kind of like in the mindset of like, damn, I always been like ahead of the curve. I never been able to like be like in the moment where stuff is going on. Like, because I was on YouTube, same stuff that you see a lot of groups of people doing. Me and my friends was doing the same stuff, making little skits and stuff. And then we got older and people started branching off, doing different things. Some people, unfortunately, not here with us no more. Yeah. So we was always kind of like ahead of the curve, and I'm like, man, like I need to get in the moment. Like just a lot of stuff I was ahead of the curve on, bro. Yeah. And I'd be like, damn, I missed the moment where I could have capitalized like monetarily.
Man, what was your dreams as a kid?
I want to go D1 in football, bro.
Yeah.
Typical.
Go
like,
to the league. Yeah.
I want to go to the league.
Yeah,
like,
to the league.
I mean,
Yeah. I mean, the reason I asked that is, man, because I know for myself, same thing. I wanted to go to the league. I wanted to hoop, but my hoop dreams fizzled out quickly. Mm-hmm. I mean, I knew for a fact that, like, all right, it's a super small percentage of people that actually go to the league. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying? And for real, man, at one point in time, it was just a matter of, like, going to school and getting a job. I'm just trying to survive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I had always had some level of inside of me, man. I always wanted to do something like on the sports reporting side, just something media based or whatnot. But man, I lost that, you know what I'm saying, when it kind of came to just like surviving. But now coming back and picking up the podcast, it's like, all right, you know, I'm leaning back into some childhood stuff that's just, you know, allowing me to pursue some passions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's interesting that a lot of us had those same dreams, but man, sometimes those dreams never die, man.
Man, life. Don't let nobody. The kids, if you watching this, man, life get rough, bro.
That's a fact.
Like after high school, it get rough.
That's a fact.
I'm surprised that I was even able to stick with my passion for as long as I kind of never gave up. I might have had times where I got like kind of down in the dumps, but I never like just quit and said, I'm not gonna do this.
Yeah.
And fortunately enough, I had situations in my life where I was able to keep going. I didn't have a kid at a young age. I really had nothing really hold me back.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm gonna keep going. And everybody have dreams, but some of them fizzle out, like you said. Like everybody want to go to the NFL. There's some people working out right now that's 28, thinking they about to go to the league, not realizing like, bro, like it's over, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like figure something else out.
You an older NFL player at that point.
It's over with.
Man, so what was your support system around the time, like when you actually, you know, kind of leaned into, you know, building your brand and just doing the D-RichTv? Was people not understanding it and they like, man, you might want to consider, you know what I'm saying, really getting a gig? Or did you have people like, nah, bro, you got something, keep going? Man, what was your support system like?
People always told me I was on to something. You know, people probably expect from me right now to not even be in Akron. They probably expect for me to be in Los Angeles or something, because even the hood people or teachers, they would always say you on to something, like you got what it takes. I back then I didn't really like know what they meant. I'm like, oh, you know, whatever, maybe they just pat me on the back. But everybody was in tune to what I was doing, man. Like people that wasn't even really big social media people at the time, that was just in tune with what I was doing. Everybody wanted to be on camera, even if it was just for a second. People always been in tune with what I was doing and supporting. I never really had nobody. Of course, they didn't say it to my face, but nobody really never said nothing like, man, he ain't never going to take off and get to where he want to go. Nobody never said that.
Did you ever have any, like, lack of confidence or self-doubt in yourself that, like, man, this might not be it, man?
All the time. You know, all the time. But like Nipsey Hussle said, you got to keep going.
It's a marathon.
You know? Like, I was watching the video of Rick Ross one time. He said, man, you may fail 9 times, but that 10th time, it might just poof, just take off. So even to this day, I still keep pushing no matter how much success I have, because I'm still not where I want to be. So I keep thinking like, man, the day gonna come if I keep working, man, it's gonna catch up with what I've been doing. And
you know what, man, I can feel that and see that in your brand. Like it speaks to persistency and consistency, number one. Like I can tell that you are strategic with your posting. Like people may look at it like, oh, he posting 2-3 times a day, but you posting at certain times a day.
Right.
Like you posting certain things at certain times.
Right.
And it's like, okay, he done figured out his niche, but you also like, you know, you being consistent. Like you can tell that, like, you know, that's something that you found works for you. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, man. Instagram, man, is kind of like the thing where one post may not go like another post. You know, same with TikTok, YouTube. Like people get so into the views to the point where, like you said, you might think I post at a strategic time, but if I want to post, I just post. I got to the point where I said, bro, I'm just gonna post when I want to post. Yeah. Because people will say, oh, it's best to post in the morning, it's best to post at night. I think it's best to post when you want to, and just whatever happens with no expectations.
Right. All the way organic.
All the way organic. Because when you try to like schedule stuff, if it don't go as planned, you're going to be down in the dumps. For real. So me, when something happened that I want to react to, boom, I just post it. If somebody DM me something that they want me to react to, boom. If it's something my voice need to be heard on, boom, I just put it out and just go with the flow. Yeah.
So man, how did creating like even the name, like how did the name D-Rich and like the brand, like how did it come about to be a thing that you was like, all right, I'm going to lean into this and like, you know, make the best? How did it even start?
Well, man, like I said, I live with my grandma. My grandma got a big house on the west side, so people thought I was rich. And I used to hang around my dudes, Shahala, Darius, Gary, and they used to rap. Mm-hmm. And me just hanging around them, birds of a feather flock together. So I'm like, I'm about to try to rap too. It's me just being young, like in 11th grade.
Right.
So it's like, we don't give you a name.
Right.
At first, they was going to say Decoy. Uh-huh. I'm like, but then my dude Darius was like, no, I mean, that's a copy of something. You can't name him Decoy.
Right.
And then he was like, what about D-Rich? You know what I mean? Because everybody thought I was rich because I had the computer and people thought I had an elevator in my house. We so young-minded, bro.
Right.
So they named me D-Rich. I did one rap song and it wasn't for me. And then I said, okay. When I got the camera, I said, they called me D-Rich. I just put the TV at the end, and D-RichTv, and just boom. This road, ever since then, has been takeoff.
Yeah, that's hard, man.
Yeah.
That's hard. Like when you look back on when you were, building it back then, looking at it now, do you look at yourself and like, damn, like, I just was chasing something. I had no idea what I was going to, but I was just chasing something. How do you view that?
When you're younger, man, you don't really got no expectations because you don't got no responsibilities. You ain't got no phone bill. You ain't got no electric bill. You don't got to pay property tax on the house. You just young, just going with the flow. But as you get older, you think back to those moments where you had no worry in the world. You're like, man, damn, I wish I still had that point in my life where I didn't have to worry about none of the stuff that I got to worry about now as an adult with the responsibilities that I got.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because like when I was doing my research just on you and just like through your YouTube, I went through some of your early stuff. Yeah. And one of the videos you posted a couple years ago, you was like, man, you talked about 5 things that you wish you knew. Yeah. And you was like, one of them was like the importance of drinking water.
Oh, hell yeah. Gallon of water a day. Man, you gotta have that. I see you got your gallon right there.
Every day, bro.
I said every day. Changed my life.
Every day. You said drink a gallon of water. I think it was, I know reading was essential. Yep. Not to chase the chicks.
Yep. That's a factual one.
I think the other one was just like a lot of the shit that we think matters
don't even matter, bro.
And it was one more. I can't think of what it was.
It might have been that, I don't know if his stuff happens. But I know the one that you said that was one of the most important ones was the gallon of water a day and the reading the book. People used to say if you want to hide anything from a person, hide in the book. Yeah. I didn't start reading books really until like 3-4 years ago. Like really just sitting down, like going. Yeah. Like man, I'm learning so much. I'm happy as hell to go the next day. I was reading 10 pages a day. I'm happy as hell waiting till the next day to read another 10 pages. So that to me was the most important. Like reading the book, how much knowledge I can get. Even though it took me till I was like 25. At least I caught on.
I'm the same way, bro. Reading books, that was, bro. It wasn't the thing to do, and I didn't even understand the value in reading. So I think the first book I really read cover to cover might have been the autobiography of Malcolm X.
That was the first. No, but the first one I read was Mike Tyson's autobiography, and then I read the Malcolm X one. Was to me was insane, bro. When you read it, bro. Game changer. You got to read that book. Game changer.
I think everybody should read it, but definitely every black person should read that book, man. Yeah. Like, first off, the book was just so deep and it was so layered that it just opened my mindset to the importance of just like, number one, what it let me know was that, the evolution of man is what's important. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And from there, after I read that one, it just was one after the other. You know what I'm saying? What were some more books that like, really impacted you?
The movie, the one, Unf Yourself. I don't know if I'm.
No, you good?
Unfuck Yourself.
I ain't never even heard of that one.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one. The Babylon, Richest Man in Babylon. Great. That was a good one. 50 Cent's book actually was pretty good. The 50th Law.
I didn't read that one.
I started to read 48 Laws of Power, but for some reason I ventured off of it.
I read it years ago, and when I at the time I read it, I couldn't value it like that. I told myself I was gonna read it again, but I never went back to it. You mentioned one that I thought was a good one though. Digital Minimalism.
Oh yeah.
Wonderful book.
Yeah. I read that one too. Yeah. That was a good book too, man. Just made me think about, damn, I'm really trapped in this world. It's just like every day, like it's crazy, man. Like
it's lightweight scary, man.
Oh yeah, you know it's insane.
Yeah. Digital Minimalism, man. Y'all go pick that book up
for sure.
It's kind of a book about basically how we are, like you said, trapped by these phones, this technology, this social media, and how it really influences our decision making, impacts our self-worth, impacts our relationships.
Yeah, we all listen. When Kanye said we knew slaves, people had a problem with that, bro. But that's no matter what you say about dude, that's facts. Like we knew slaves, bro. Yeah. These phones, the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning, 9 times out of 10 is check your phone. I'm trying to venture myself off from doing that because you'll wake up, see some bad news, or just see something. So, like, we really slaves to this technology, for real.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. I mean, one thing that I do, I was sleeping with my phone out here, but my lady was like, nah, you waking the baby up with that shit. So, bring it in the room. But I still do not touch my phone for like the first hour. You know what I'm saying?
So you just wake up and just go about the day.
I wake up, go to the gym, get my workout in. I don't touch my phone at all. You know what I'm saying? And after I'm done my workout, then I get on, check my IG and all that other shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I need to
it's
start doing.
It's a process, bro.
It's a process. I know it's a process because it's like when you don't got it, you feel naked. You feel like, man, I ain't got my phone on me.
That's 100% facts. What's your speaking of that, man? What's your day-to-day look like? Like, how much are you really in the gym with these young guys? Like, what's your scheduling day-to-day? Because I'm seeing you, you know what I'm saying, from afar, and I can tell you putting in work. Like I said, you posting, doing a lot of content, which is not easy work.
Right.
Like, people think that creating content is just doing something small, and you may have a system now and whatnot,
right,
but like that's not easy work to do. So like, what's your day-to-day kind of look like? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, with social media, man, day-to-day, that's why I'm on my phone so much. Sometimes I just scroll up, check so many people DM me stuff to look at every day, where that's why I feel like I got to be attached to my phone. I can wake up and really be in tune with players. But on the weekends, though, throughout the summer, that's when I really get to travel and meet different players and stuff like that. When I first started, I was really I maxed out a credit card. I was on a roll like every weekend, bro.
Really,
just
man.
meet this building relationships with people, getting in the gyms, and just seeing how this basketball world works, because it's different, bro. That's why you can see like the social media, how these basketball players are so influential. Some of them even more influential than NBA players, because this basketball world with the youth, it's insane, man. It's insane. So I try to stay in tune on social media every day. That's why I scroll down on TikTok and Instagram. Really more so Instagram. YouTube don't really do me no justice on that side, but Instagram, I can just stay in tune with all the players who committing where, breaking news with all these little platforms that break news. Yeah, it's crazy,
man. What is that world like, that basketball world like today? Because again, man, it's completely different than, me and you was in high school around the same time, like 14, 15 years ago. The internet wasn't what it is. So like, what is that world like today? Seeing it how you see it. What is that world like?
It's grimy. It's a lot of snakes out there, but it's also fun too, because you get to see the level I'm at. I like to stay like in the middle school level, maybe a little 9th and 10th, but after that I kind of like venture off with the player, because I like to see them at the youthful stage when it's organic, and you see them before they blow up, before they get the blue check mark, before they get the endorsements and stuff, when they just young and just, wet behind you. They don't know no better. You know what I mean? They're just out there playing. They don't know what's lying ahead of them.
They still love it.
They still love it, man, until they start getting criticized. And, man, like, 'cause some of these players going through it. I mean, as far as, like, every day somebody leaking fake stories about them. So I like to stay at the level when it's just organic, but it can get treacherous in that basketball world for sure, bro. Yeah. It's crazy.
Man, it's so crazy that you say that, because, man, I believe that. I believe that these young the amount of pressure that these young cats is up under from these phones and this internet and this nonstop every day. Oh yeah, bro, that is completely different than anything we experience, man. They're experiencing a different level of pressure.
Oh hell yeah, man! People I knew about LeBron, but I never got a chance to really like see it on camera. Like, so it's still kind of like a ghost. Like, oh, LeBron, man, he did this against Central Howard or at Akron U, or he did this in Columbus. It was kind of like I've never really seen it like in person, like on the phone, like how we do social media now. It's still kind of like a ghost. Nowadays, it ain't none of that. Like, people get to see you every day. Every move you make, people get to see it. So you're going to be criticized. Everything you do. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure Bron had games where he probably had like 20 points, maybe 10 assists, 10 rebounds. Yeah. Some people nowadays, they look at that 20 points, oh, why he ain't scored 35, and just criticize him in the comments. Yeah. It's a different damn world now, bro.
Man, how many kids are you seeing that actually have like solid support systems around them that's kind of like doing a good job of like protecting them and just funneling them away from the bullshit? How many what's a nice percentage of you think have good support systems?
I say about 40% for real, bro.
Really?
Yeah,
that's still high though.
That's still high. Yeah, 40%, then 60% be like they got people that's handlers, people that's just in their life trying to just.
Man, even that young.
Oh hell yeah! They see but some of it's in good favor though, because the parent might not be able to take a player somewhere, so a coach be like, okay, I'll take care of everything. You know, make sure he get to A and B and to get exposure and stuff like that. But some people do have, you know, both parents and parents guiding them. Yeah. Like Imani Bates, like his dad was always in tune with what was going on. Like he was always there. And to me, people may think different, but to me, that's what you need. Your dad got to be there to like kind of guide you, and then when you get to college, let you, you know, venture off and do your own thing. Yeah. But a lot of the NBA players, you see that their dad was with them, either coaching them or just with them, helping them guide them through the steps. Yeah. There's some players who didn't have no support system that made it, of course, but for the vast majority, a lot of their dads was active in their life and helped them out with the steps. Yeah.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy, John Morgan. Listen, man, right now, as y'all can see, man, I got on the new Live Your Purpose podcast merch, man. It's going crazy right now. The T-shirts, I got the dad hats. People always hit me up. John, man, where can I get it? How can I grab your stuff? You got a website, you got a site, how can I grab it? I'm here to tell you, yes, we do have a site. All right, that site is www.lypp.org. O-R-G. Again, it's www.lypp.org. Go to that website right now, man. You can find you can find a link to the YouTube channel. You can find a link to the audio platform, but you also can find where you can shop and grab your merch right now. Again, man, check us out. We got the tees going crazy right now. The dad hats. Expect to see some new products on that site. Go right now, www.lypp.org. Again, man. A lot of y'all been hitting me up asking me about this link and this site. It's available. So do yourself a favor. Go through, support, shop with your boy, spend some money with your boy. I know some of y'all still got that PPE money. Come spend some with your boy, man. Peace. Man, I seen one thing that I really appreciate about your platform, specifically your IG, is that, you know, you talk about the good and the bad. And one of the things that you highlight a lot is like, why are these kids doing drills on stuff that's not going to translate to the floor? Like, that's a big thing for you. Right. And I seen one time, like, you know what I'm saying, a couple of trainers just slap back, you know what I'm saying, clap back at you like, bruh, he was working on a finish, but I still didn't really quite understand it. Yeah. But then recently y'all had like, you know what I'm saying, y'all got on, you know, live, I think I had a conversation. Yep. Like, how often do people have rebuttals for what you know what I'm saying, what you saying on your platform?
My DMs are full of people, you know, cussing me out for real, saying, call me, you know, you talking this, that. People say you a clown. That's people's favorite word now is you a clown or whatever. That's their favorite word. But, I mean, it's like, people going to say what they say, but I sleep better at night knowing that I said what I felt like needed to be said. Yeah. Like with the trainer, I just saw, out of context, him picking the ball up off a thing. You know, I'm like, this look crazy. You know what I mean? I don't care what type of concept you got. That seemed crazy. Like, when are you ever gonna do that in the game? Right. And Bron even commented on it with the shake my head. Right. I'm like, I said, I ain't the only one.
Yeah, I ain't tripping.
But dude came on my platform and he wasn't belligerent or anything. He could talk to me, you know, face to face via live, of course. But he stood on what he thought his process was to get a player to the next level where they wanted to be. And I still think it looked kind of goofy, but at least he stand on what he do and the people that he's worked with and where they at. So he firm in what he does with players. I still kind of think it kind of looked kind of goofy. That's why I ain't delete it, and I'm not never going to delete it because I said what I said. And if it looked crazy, me saying something that people perceive not to be true, it is what it is. We all make mistakes. I'm never going to delete nothing. Yeah. But I appreciate him coming on there and talking to me and talking about the process that he takes players through to get them through where they want to go. But, I mean, people DM me trainers all the time, but now it's getting confused because I feel like people messing with me. You know what I mean? Like people DM me stuff. I'm like, man, I be wanting to get on there and be like, man, y'all leave me alone. DM me this trainer stuff. Like, y'all ain't about to get me in trouble again.
Yeah. Man, it's and that's another thing I like about what you saying, man. Like I like when people stand on what they said. Right. Like, listen, even if I come back later and recant what I said, I said it. You know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I can appreciate people standing on what they said. Have you seen any instances where, like, man, you may have said something about a trainer or something, you be like, oh yeah, I was tripping though. Let me go back and, like, you know, let me correct myself. Even though I said it, let me make amends for it.
I mean, even with the last dude, the Michael Lancaster dude, I mean, like, I went to his page, and I never went to his page before. He was working with Kyrie Irving and Victor Oladipo. So at the moment after I posted, I'm like, damn, what did I get myself into? Yeah. But it still like you said, you got to stand on what you said, and I still believe that from looking at it, it looked goofy. But I never go back and unless I put out a rumor about a kid that's not true, like a kid say reclassing up, and then it come out not to be true. I'll go in there and be like, I got my sources are wrong. Like it happened with Jalen Duren, number one player in 2022. He said he was reclassing up to 21, but then he took it back and said, no, I'm not. And then he ended up doing it. I just left the video up. I apologize and stuff, saying I got the wrong sources and stuff, but I never really go back on anything I said unless I say something about a player that turns out not to be true. Even though it turned out to be true with him, sometimes I go back and fix things up, clear things up.
Yeah, that's good, man. How did the how did the camp come about? How did you start D-Rich camp? How did that come about?
I was traveling, going to different people's events. I'm like, they doing an event. Not trying to copy them or nothing, but I'm like, man, if they doing it, I know I can try to do something. So the first year, I'm like, man, it's gonna be rough. I'm gonna invest. I'm probably not gonna make no money off it or whatever. And I'm like, man, I'm just gonna try to get people to come to Akron, hire some people that I know here to coach. I know some coaches. I know some trainers, and try to see what the turnout would be like. And luckily, it turned out to be better than expected. And this past year was our 5th year doing it. So
yeah, that's good, man. That's good. You see any other young black dudes having their own camps around the country? It's
a few people starting to do it, but having the camp thing now is kind of like polluted, bro.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, because everybody's trying to have their own events. I feel like I'm kind of like in that top tier. There's like 3 tiers. People that got camps that's been around and stable for a long time. I find myself to be in that top tier, luckily enough. But then there's a lot of people trying to just start. And I feel sorry for them because it's like, man, this basketball world is getting polluted with everybody trying to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Nobody being different, nobody standing out. So, but I'm still gonna stick with my camp, even though everybody doing their stuff. But a couple of people trying to branch off and do their own camps too, which I will encourage them to do.
Yeah.
For the brand, to build your brand up.
Man, talk about the process of that. Talk about the process of just like starting your own camp and like maybe some of the ins and outs that people have no idea that you deal with when it comes to those camps.
I mean, if you want good players, you gotta make phone calls and kiss a lot of ass. You gotta be on them. Like, man, I like your son, man. I need him here. You gotta be on them every day. And it might not even turn out that they gonna come, but you still gotta make the phone call.
You recruiting for real?
Oh yeah, you gotta be on the phone, like because if you believe in your event and you want the best talent, now you can just be like, man, I'll just get whoever come. Forget it. I don't care who come. But me, I want to have top tier players here, so when they go to the league, I'd be like, dang, like he was really in Akron. That's what get me like hyped. Like, dang, like he was really in Akron. Like Terrence Clark, the kid who just passed away.
Yeah.
It was a blessing for him to come to my camp, bro.
Yeah.
He skipped the Under Armour event and everything and came to Akron. And that meant so much to me. I don't know if he understood how much that meant to me. So when he passed away, that was like damn, like I felt like I lost a family member. Cause I'm like, man, he really, really did me a huge favor by coming down here.
Yeah.
Imani Bates, Chris Livingston came.
Yeah.
The number 1 player, Shaden Sharp, committing tonight at 7:00. He came. He's from Canada. He came to my camp. So it's just if you want players, you really got to be in tune and on the phone making connections so you can get the best talent here. Or you can just be like, I don't care who come. I just want the money and just I don't care.
And how much of that is based off of building the relationships? Because that's what I hear. It's like, what I'm saying, the importance of building like real relationships with these young dudes and their families. Not just like, yo, come play in my camp. Like I actually like, care for this kid, but I want to, see you on a big stage and like, let's do this the right way. How much of it is like building a genuine relationship with the kids too? Yeah,
it's real big because Imani Bates' dad, I consider him like family because we that tight. When I first started, he was in support of what I did because me and his son kind of started at the same time. People would like to say I found Imani Bates. I didn't find Imani. Imani Bates is going to get found no matter what.
Right.
I was just happened to be at a garbage tournament in Chicago and I saw a tall, lanky kid, filmed him, did an interview with him, met his dad, and his dad was cool people, 100% genuine, and we linked like that and we built a relationship. Chris Livingston, he from the city, so obviously we built a relationship. It's real hard to build like a solid relationship. No relationship is gonna be like a friendship, but just stay in tune. And if they support what you do, a lot of people supported what I did. So it was like, we don't got a problem helping a young brother out trying to do something positive. So I'm gonna bring my son down and be in support of you and help you out with anything you need.
Have you ever had to shy away from maybe if it was talent, maybe if it was just like whatever it was, because you just didn't want to connect your brand to something that you was like, nah, I don't really, it may be a little shaky, or I just don't see it, or have you ever had to tell people no, like, man, I can't connect my brand to what y'all got going?
Yeah, people reach out and kind of want to do things for you and say, man, let me sponsor this and that. And I'm like, what you trying to sponsor for? Like, I know what, like, not trying to be nosy, but I know what you about. Like,
right.
what what I'm saying? What you trying to sponsor for? Like, I'm good. Like, I just keep doing things the way I've been doing it. So people reach out and try to sponsor stuff, and I'm like, nah, I kind of turn it away. I just stick to the way I've been doing things. But as far as players, it's really been no player that I kind of shied away from. Maybe they know what? Maybe their parents was crazy, and I'm like, I don't want to take a risk of this player coming down here, and they don't make the All-Star team, and their parent flip out. So from that aspect, if I see your parents is crazy, sometimes I'd be like, the talent don't outweigh that. I can't deal with it because I can't have no nonsense going on at my camp. But for the most part, I never really had turned down nothing except people trying to give money, and I'm not cognizant of why you trying to give me this money. I feel like it's something up under the table you trying to do.
Is dealing with the parents and the adults the hardest part for you?
It depends, man. Because some parents can be crazy, bro. You know what I mean? Everybody think they kid number one.
Yeah.
Like, if I come out with a top 5 list, your kid could have been 6 and might not just made the top 5 list. It just is what it is. They'll call me saying stuff, or saying my son is this. Parents, of course, it's your seed. So you're going to feel like your son is better than everybody. Mm-hmm. But sometimes you just got to be realistic and understand that that's not always the case, man. Like, you can love your son and want him to do whatever you didn't get a chance to do when you were a kid, but you can't live through him. Yeah. And every kid ain't going to be the next Kobe.
It just don't work that way.
It don't work that way. Everybody can't be 6'8", or 6'5", or 6'6".
Yeah. Man, what about some of the politics between, because, man, what you indulging yourself in, man, this is big business, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is multi-million, billion-dollar business, especially with the AAU circuit being what it is now. The NIL is a thing now. So we talking about big business. Like, what's some of the politics that you see just happening? Because I done seen you speak on, like, look, this kid is dropping because he ain't with Nike no more. He with Adidas now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's some of the politics that you see with the brands? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, actually taking place.
People reach out to me all the time when I make videos like that and say, man, you right, man. Look at this. Look at that. If you're not Nike, you're going to have a hard time being the number one player. That's just facts. If you Adidas, you're going to have a harder time. You know what I'm saying? If you Under Armour, you damn near ain't got no chance. You know what I mean? You might be top 20 or whatever, but you're not going to be number one playing Under Armour unless you're just exceptional.
And this is across the board on any ranking list?
I feel like.
Really, man?
But I definitely feel like ESPN in the bed with Nike.
Damn.
I might be like the Alec Jones of the basketball world. They might try to ban me off this shit because I'm spewing out conspiracy theories. But it's something that I believe in.
Right.
Like the Chris Livingston, he didn't drop until he started playing Adidas.
Yeah.
I mean, what did that tell you?
Yeah.
I know players that's on Adidas that's ranked low, and I know players that's ranked high on Nike that maybe shouldn't be ranked that high. But I never get on my platform and say a player shouldn't be this.
Right.
I just always say what a player should be because they kids. I'm not about to say, oh, he shouldn't be ranked number 5. He should be ranked number 5. I don't do stuff like that because they kids at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But it's definitely politics, bro, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's big business, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not surprised to hear it, but that shows me that, like, man, this stuff can get evil, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? We still talking about babies and their lives and their families depending on a lot of these kids.
Man, this stuff is, man, I done heard some stories, bro, about people getting bags, money before this before the NIL. Players getting bags to play for this team, players getting this and that. Man, listen, man, it's crazy. Yeah. For real. Man,
what's your thoughts on the NIL and how that's going to impact, the youngsters and even the AAU circuit and even the college circuit? What's your thoughts on NIL?
Well, my thoughts is, man, the big dog's still going to eat.
Yeah.
Players been getting a bag. Definitely basketball.
That's not news.
Yeah. Top dogs like schools like Alabama and football still going to get the best players because they're going to have the most sponsorship money, people that are willing to spend on this player to market their thing. Right. But one thing that I think people going to realize is that every player not marketable. Like, it may be hot now, but what you drinking my water? How many people actually gonna buy my water from you drinking my water? Right. So I think that like 5 years from now, people are gonna be like, me paying this player $500,000 really not worth it because how I'm gonna get that money back on the back end? Mm-hmm. You know, because I didn't invest in some money and stuff trying to do ads, and I'm like, man, how does this stuff work? Because I'm not really seeing the benefits of doing this. So I think that company's gonna see like every player not marketable. It's a few that's marketable, like maybe like 5 every year or something. But every player not gonna return that revenue that you invested into them. Yeah. But the big dogs still gonna eat, like Alabama, Kentucky in basketball. Yeah. Old State. It's gonna be it's still gonna be top heavy. I don't think too much gonna change. Yeah. But I just don't want players to feel like they made it already. You know, cause that's something. Go to college and you fighting to get that bag. I just want to see how players gonna react when they getting paid. Or they still gonna work as hard. I feel like Nick Saban and coaches like that still gonna push them to work hard. But I just wonder how hard they gonna work when they driving to school in a Hellcat. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, even though players been doing that, right? But
not a Hellcat, and they can just tell you, "Hey, I bought this myself."
I mean, bro, players about to be going to the club in sections, all type of crazy, it's getting chains, going to Johnny Dang. It's about to be crazy, bro.
Yeah, it's about to be nuts because now they can literally tell you, "This is mine. I don't gotta hide nothing."
And they gonna be flossing, bro. I remember I went to Ohio State campus. This is before the NIL. I seen players, driving nice cars, in the club having a nice time. But now it's about to be on a whole nother level. Yeah. Whole nother level. Yeah. Because a player from Ohio State, that quarterback just got $1.3 million. He's not even a starter.
Ain't even a starter, bro.
He ain't even a starter. $1.3 million. Imagine that on a college campus.
Man, so what I'm curious to know about the NIL is like, how long are these deals in effect for? Is it a matter of like, all right, you get this money based off if you stay in school for 4 years? Right. Like, is it good for a 2-year deal? Is it like, that's what I'm interested in know, this kind of logistics of the deals, which I haven't heard anybody speak to yet.
Yeah, I mean, because football, you automatically got to stay in school 3 years.
Right.
Basketball, you can be one and done. So if you investing in a player in basketball, you probably know they're going to be done after this year. I'm not investing in no player that's going to be a junior because you don't get no respect. Look at the Luka Garza dude. He stayed in school for 4 years.
But see, like what I heard about, and granted, I'm not 100% sure, so fact check me on this. Hershey Miller, Master P's kid, dude just signed that crazy deal at the HBCU. To my understanding, that's a 4-year deal that's associated with that. Like, yeah, he gonna get I think it's like 1.3 something crazy like that. Yeah. But in order to get that, he's gotta be in school for 3-4 years. Like, you know what I'm saying? I want to know how many of the rest of those deals are structured that same way.
First, do you believe that deal? So I mean. No, I rock with Master P.
I think it's incentive based.
Yeah, okay, it might be incentive based.
I think it's incentive based.
Because I'm like 1.3 million. Like, I be thinking like, how you gonna make the money back? Me just being an entrepreneur, I think like, if I invest this, how am I making the money back? Is he gonna fill up the gym? Yeah. Like, is he gonna fill up the gym? But I appreciate him getting the bag. Yeah. That's the biggest part. But I don't know. I like the kid Bryce Young from Alabama. I heard about his deal, but I didn't hear. Was it 3 years? I didn't hear nothing about the specifics. Yeah. Maybe it's something I can look up. Yeah. They gonna have it on the internet soon, like how they do NBA salaries.
So that's all I'm waiting on. I'm just waiting for people to have it out there so I can be able to really look at it.
Look at it.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna get interesting, man. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna get interesting. Listen, man, I think this is the question that people really want to know, bruh. Can D-Rich actually hoop? Like,
I'm a football player, man. I ain't no hooper, man. I'm a hooper. Yeah,
I think that's what people want to know. Like,
I ain't no hooper, man.
Not at all.
I'm a football player. I can shoot threes.
Okay.
I ain't terrible.
Right.
I played in middle school, but then after that, I realized like I'm probably not gonna be 6'6", 6'5". I just stopped and just stuck to football.
Yeah. But it seemed like you put your time in with the game. You know what I'm saying? You spending your time in the gym and it seemed like you getting with people who actually do, you know what I'm saying, know the game and just like, you know what I'm saying? I don't think you don't know the game. You know what I'm saying? I could tell that when some of the stuff you saying, it's like, okay, he has a very nice understanding of the game for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm never gonna know the most about the game. I'll say that. I'm always willing to learn.
Right.
When people around that know more about me, I shut the hell up because I'm not a basketball player.
Right.
But I know what talent is.
Right.
Just like the next man, I can look at a player and be like, this dude next up. That's not really hard to do. But when it comes to the ins and the outs, I just shut up when there's somebody around that I specifically know more than me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, like if Brian in the room, I just shut the hell up and listen.
Right.
I'm not saying nothing because I don't know what he know. He know more than he forgot more than I know.
Correct. Right. Facts. Man, what's your if you had to like break it down into values or just principles or just like building your brand and just how, you know, even just how you apply it to your life, but it is associated with building your brand. If you had to name it down to 5 values or principles, what would they be?
Man, work ethic. You got to be willing to put the work in, you know, no matter what. Like, even I see you wake up and go work out every day.
Mm-hmm.
That go into your brand because that gets you ready for the day.
Yep.
And that translates over into your brand. It make you feel better. You do better.
Yep.
So work ethic, no matter doing this is work right here. You know, you put in
mm-hmm.
the work. A lot of people want the money and
the glitz and the glamour.
The glitz and the glamour, but they don't want to put in the work with it. Next, I would say sacrifice.
You talk about that one. Stay right there. Sacrificing like what?
Sometimes traveling, sometimes shoes. That's a problem that I used to have a lot of, like trying to keep up with the Joneses and invest in myself to build a brand. Like you can't really do both. You got to pick which one you want to do. Because if you try to do both, you're gonna be broke as hell. You know what I mean? Like depending on what your income like. But that's something that I still have to. Okay, do I want these shoes or do I want to buy this new piece of camera? Like you got the camera equipment right here. Some people are not willing to invest that because they want to get the $500 Jordans or whatever. So you got to sacrifice some stuff, man. Like I haven't even traveled. I traveled across the country, but I haven't like traveled out of the country just because I'd be so busy doing other stuff, going here, going there, trying to build my brand up. I haven't really sat back and enjoyed the fruits of my labor. Even though I'm not where I want to be, I haven't really traveled the world and seen all that I wanted to see because I've been so busy trying to just build my brand up. So I sacrificed that right now. Like I see people on trips all the time. I'm like, damn, man, I don't be going nowhere.
Right.
Like, they on the beach on the jet skis. Like I'm not doing nothing,
yeah.
you know. But I'm getting ready for my camp. Looking at that, I'm like, man, dang.
Right.
But let me get back busy, get back working.
Right.
Sometimes you gotta sacrifice stuff for the greater good of yourself.
Give me 3 more.
The next, I would say, man, is focus, man. Like you really gotta stay dialed in. I feel like because there's gonna be a lot of distractions out there, like to get you knocked off your target goal. Like people doing this, people doing that. Because so many people go different ways as we get older. Like it'll knock you off. Like you know what I mean. You get around somebody who doing this and you easily influenced, you'll stop doing what you're doing because you're trying to do what they doing.
Facts.
So you really gotta be focused on what's for you and not what's for somebody else. Definitely with social media because we all either you're gonna look at it and be jealous or you're gonna look at it and be inspired. Me, I'm not easily motivated to do something bad. I'm easily inspired to do something good, bro. Like I'd be like
100%.
I'd be like, damn, okay, they got that. Let me do this. Like even with the Hellcat, I say the Hellcats. Like I didn't want a Hellcat till I drove one. That motherfucker was like, I said, man, now I gotta,
need one.
Yeah, I gotta die. I might have to come SRT or whatever. You know,
Right.
It's just all about focusing and not getting distracted by what somebody else got because. I know it sounds cliche when somebody say what God got for you is for you. Yeah. I feel like that's true, man. Yeah. Whatever God got for you, that's gonna be for you. Those are really my 3. I know I got. Let me think of another one real quick, man. Off the top of the head. Man.
Something that you live by, something that you know you taking it with you no matter what, you standing on it.
Oh man, like you gotta what's a word for like you gotta have values, man. Like you gotta
integrity,
you know, like Malcolm X said, even though it's cliche, you gotta stand for something or you fall for anything.
Right.
That's true. Like like the most cliche stuff that people say, that's true. Like you gotta stand for something. You can't go like a lot of the stuff that's going on in the world. It just don't sit right with me. That's why I know one day I'm gonna say something on the mic that's gonna get people mad because a lot of stuff just don't sit right with me. Yeah. No matter what people say, it just don't sit right with me because that's not the way it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? So you gotta stand for something and not just let people get stuff off and you like, oh man, forget it. Like no, they say a coward dies 1,000 deaths. Another cliche statement, but it's true.
It's true.
Like you go to sleep. You ever got into an argument with somebody? Not even an argument. Somebody got over on you on something. You like, man, I should have said something. You know what I mean? I know that ain't what I'm about.
Right.
But I let it slide. Right. Like, no, you gotta stand for. You can't let people push you over. You gotta stand for something, man. You know, and me, that's why I say what I say because I feel like no matter what, I'm gonna say what I say. And I'm gonna sleep good at night saying what I said. So for me, that's what it's about, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. One thing that I also noticed, man, about your brand, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that it seems like you doing a lot of things independently as well. It don't seem like you doing any like partnerships with any type of brands and things like that. I don't know if that's true, but if that is, why is that? Why are you strategic about, you know, continue to build your brand and just like, you know, building the equity into what you got going?
I mean, pride, maybe too much pride. You know what I mean? Being like, man, I don't want no handout from nobody. Or you feel better when you do it by yourself, which is stupid. You know what I mean? It's stupid.
Not necessarily though, bruh.
But at the same time, you need people to help you out, because teams is really what's going to take you to the top. Like if I had a team, I need a team. It's going to help you scale. Like I need a team. I need somebody making a shirt design. You know,
are you doing everything by yourself?
Yeah, doing everything by myself. Even when I do my camp, people like, man, you do everything. Parents be like in shock. Like, you do everything by yourself? Yeah, I make the rosters, do the check-in, everything. You know what I mean? Everything. I get the filmers here. I pay the people. I do everything. I like to be hands-on so I know what's going on.
Right.
Because once you become hands-off, you don't know what's
delegating.
stuff started looking tweaky.
It's just a matter of you trusting somebody. And you can't always trust people. Especially with your visions and your baby, stuff that you poured into.
Yeah, and a reason why I don't really have sponsors right now is because I don't want to be handcuffed. I really want to say what I want to say.
I feel that.
Yeah. People come at me with little stuff like, you want to be a part of this, a part of that. But I'm like, man, like at what cost?
Yeah.
Because if something happened and I'm not in agreement with it, and I get on here and I say something, am I still going to be a part of whatever you got going on? So I'd be like, man, I'm just going to stick with what I got going right now and build it up. And then things don't come along.
Do you think that it's a way that you can do both? That you can have your team but still have your control over what you got going and your ownership over, so you know it may be a little bit more expensive, but do you think you can do both?
Yeah, I think it's a way to do both, man. But you gotta be completely focused. You can't working at the job. You gotta be just 100%. This is what I'm doing. Yeah, you know what I mean. I'm damn near ready to take that leap of faith and just be like, man, I'm about to just go 100%. Like people probably think I'm going 100% right now. I'm not. I don't think I'm going 60%.
Really, man?
Nah, hell no. Nah.
Really?
I can go. There's days I go to sleep. My girl like, what's wrong? I'm like, man, I ain't go hard enough today. Like for real. Like she be like, she put up with my shit because I be like, man, I'm not. Like I feel like I didn't do nothing today. I didn't get nowhere. There's days where I be like, man, I didn't do nothing today. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean?
What you think your if you had to look at something or pinpoint something and reflect, what do you think your weakness is? Or just not even necessarily a weakness, but just something that you want to
not taking advantage of the opportunity.
What you mean? Say more.
I got relationships with people, and I'll be in a room with them, and I don't ask them for nothing because like my pride would be in the way. Right. Like people be like, oh man, such and such follow you. Why don't you DM them? If I was followed by them, I'd DM them every day and ask them stuff. It'd be my pride being away. You know what I'm saying? Like people always say you should ask Brian for something, bro. Like he see you grinding, he be shouting you out. You should ask him for something. I'm like, man, you know how many people he got asking him for stuff all the time? Right. It's probably insane. It's been like that since he was 16 years old. People asking him. Right. I'm like, I'm just gonna grind it out and he'll see the work. But one time I did DM him and ask him for something, and he actually did. Like posted something in the story. Yeah. So I'm like, damn, like he really a 100. No matter what somebody say about him, he 100. But I've been in other rooms with people, and I just didn't take advantage of opportunities and build relationships like I should have because my pride of being away. Like I don't want to talk. I don't want to be like a groupie. Yeah. And nothing like that.
Yeah. I feel that. I wonder how much of that is so much of our male ego, because I even struggle with that sometimes, because like I play it too cool, you know what I'm saying, type of thing, where I kind of just be a little observant, and I don't really want nobody to think that I need them per se, and I believe in my value, but at the same time, when you're looking at the bigger picture, man, doing it in numbers is like you said, it's how you scale, it's how you have longevity.
Exactly.
And man, like, you know, we all need a little something,
a little push.
You know what I'm saying. So I wonder how much of that is based in our own male ego, and we just.
It's a part of the culture too, bro. Like we just now getting to the point where a lot of stuff is acceptable, more acceptable than it used to be.
No, that's a fact.
You know what I mean? Like the mental health stuff that didn't used to be a thing.
No, it's not.
There's a lot of stuff that's acceptable now that wasn't acceptable. Now I guess it's cool to maybe ask somebody and get like I wouldn't say a handout, but you know, get a little push in the back, but. It used to be, I got it on my own. We was always say, I got it on my own. I don't need nobody. You know what I'm saying? I did it by myself. Did it on my own. You know what I'm saying? That was just what was in the music. So we took it and we ran with it. So maybe that's embedded in me, and I'm trying to get rid of that. And luckily enough, I got people, somebody that's in my life that's trying to push me in that direction. Like, man, you got to stop. You got to lose that pride. Yeah. You know, like pride is the devil.
You get better at it?
Yeah, I feel like I'm getting a little better.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm taking it day by day. I have my moments.
Yeah. That's all right, bro. It's a process, bro.
I have my moments.
Yeah,
you know?
it's a process for sure. Yeah, man. What's the overall goals and vision that you just see for D-RichTv and just like the brand of D-Rich? Like, what do you want to see it 5-10 years down the line? Like, what do you see for yourself in the brand?
Man, I see myself doing what I'm doing now on a bigger scope. Like, I want my voice. I always felt like my voice mattered. Even if it don't. For some reason in my life, I always felt like my opinion mattered. Everybody feel like their opinion mattered, but I actually felt like what I'm saying is true.
Yeah.
And I feel like people need to hear what I'm saying. Even if it's not true to you, I feel like my opinion matters. So I feel like I just want to get my voice heard and just keep doing what I'm doing and just being true to myself and helping the youth out for real. Like, I really want to be for the youth like I am now. Like, I'm 29 years, just turned 29 years old. So it's stuff that I done been through. I done been doing this since I was 18. So I've been grinding. So I feel like I got knowledge that I can get a youth. And I just want to go to that next level where I can help masses. Like,
why you don't start a podcast, bro?
I do something
about it.
I thought about it, but it's like, what avenue am I gonna take it? Like, I get on YouTube and I do like live streams sometimes where I have people call in, and I'm thinking about taking that to the next level, doing that once a week. I got a dude that's in Dallas right now. Me and him talking about doing some things right now. So I think that's big because people do want to hear they self-talk if they can call in and speak on this topic or subject or something like that. So I think that's something that I can do. I just got to figure out how I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like an interview base where I got to interview a player all the time like that. But I do want to do something with the LLC, trying to get players to learn about that early credit because with the NIL, like, people start touching the bag, so they got to learn how to do stuff. I done lost money in my life just being dumb, making stupid decisions. So I'm just trying to help for real.
Yeah.
Anyway.
and you know what, man? That's one of the things that I can tell from your work too, bro. I can tell it's a lot of service that you provide in your shit, and that's what I really, really appreciate about what you're doing. You can tell when people got genuine messages and genuine brands out there, and yours is one of the ones that I can tell, like, oh no, he ain't just like, got kids coming to the camp or like, talking about kids. Bro, actually trying to like really do some stuff to help some kids, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. That's what it's all about, man.
Yeah.
Even if it's just one.
Yeah.
If I just help one kid change their life, I think I did my justice.
Yeah,
for
100%.
real.
But listen, man, D-Rich, bro. Thank you, man. Thank you for coming out, man. This been wonderful, man. I know a lot of people gonna get a lot of value from this, bro. This has been dope for me again, man. I remember seeing your brand at the beginning, but to see where it is today is amazing.
Man, I appreciate it.
And the beef right here from the city, bro, I'm saluting that 100%. I'm getting behind that 100%, man. So I appreciate you coming on, you know what I'm saying, and chopping it up with us for a minute on the platform, bro.
Man, listen, man, I definitely appreciate you having me, man. I had to make it happen for sure.
Yeah, no problem. So before we get out of here, man, I got like a couple rapid questions I want to hit you with. And we'll go ahead and get on out of here.
For sure.
Okay, bet. Man, what are your intentions to end this year 2021? What do you really want to put out there in the universe, man, and just kind of want to really be mindful about the stuff that you're doing? What's your intentions to end the rest of this year?
My intentions is to show people that you can still be yourself and not go by what's going on, man, to become successful. Like, cause I feel like if I would have been doing a lot of stuff different on the internet, I probably would have took off faster, but it ain't me.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot of goofy stuff that people do, and that might be them.
That's a fact.
And that's dope. It's a world for that, but I'm just trying to stay true to myself and build like that and not try to be like a caricature.
Yeah.
And then I gotta
it's easy
keep
to get
putting on
caught
the
up,
act.
I would imagine, in that shit,
Oh,
man.
hell yeah. You see people getting all these followers, you like, damn, just by doing that, but like, that ain't me though. So
Yeah.
just showing people that you can stay true and still become successful and be where you want to be.
Yeah, that's good, man. The name of the podcast is called "To Live Your Purpose," man. What is your purpose, and how is that connected to like what you're doing today?
My purpose, helping the youth, man. I feel like that's me being the voice. A lot of people then said, D-Rich, you the voice for us. Lil Durk, he called himself the voice. They call him D-Rich, the voice of the youth. I didn't say that. Somebody else said that. But
they stamped it.
Somebody else said it. They stamped it. I just get on the microphone and say what I think needs to be said and heard. So, and the youth, man, sometimes they need to hear that, man.
Yeah. What's something about you that people be surprised to know?
Something about me that people would be surprised to know.
What they don't know about D-Rich, man?
I don't think it'd be nothing that would be. I don't really got nothing going on that's like whoa, like wow, like that. I don't know, man. Like I'm really a simple dude for real, bro.
Okay.
Like watch football, do what I do here with my purpose, and that's about it, bro. Then lift weights. I'm pretty strong.
All right.
Maybe they might not think that, but I'm pretty strong. But I don't know.
All right. What scares you?
Man, not reaching my potential for real.
Bro, that's like the fifth or sixth person who done said that.
That's real, bro. Like people dying every day. You like, man, like you never know when your time coming. Like that's why every day I go to sleep. I'm like, man, did I do enough? Mm-hmm. And some days I didn't. Yeah, you know what I mean. And that's scary.
What's your favorite quote?
Favorite quote. The right team can change a role player to a superstar.
I like that. That's hard.
That's real talk.
That's a bar, though.
If you got the right team, you can become a superstar. That's real talk. You know, you see it in the NBA all the time. You know? So
that's hard. Yeah, that's hard. I like that. What's the best advice you ever received?
The best advice I ever from my dad, man. Don't follow them.
Go ahead, man.
Don't follow them niggas.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I mean? Like,
gotta be a leader,
real
bro.
talk, man. You know what I'm saying? He's always say, don't follow them niggas.
Mm-hmm.
He's always say that, like people around the neighborhood, you know, doing what they want to do.
Right.
He's always telling me that, and as I got older, I understood what you're saying because
right, 100%.
a lot of those people not with us no more.
Yeah. If you could pick up the phone and call your 20-year-old self, knowing what you know today, what would you tell yourself?
And don't spend that money.
Hold on to it.
Hold on to it. You know, my mom passed away when I was about 20. I got like a little life insurance song. Blew it. Blew it. Blew it. Crazy on stuff that I don't even phone pauses. This shit that you looking back at like, man, what was I doing? No, Rock Revival jeans and for real, bro. Like stuff that's sitting in the basement. You like, man, blew the bag on this crazy nonsense stuff, man. Right. So that's what I would tell myself. Invest that bag. That's what I would tell myself.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. But man, it's crazy, man. Because even myself, when I've ran through large sums of money, looking back on it now, I look at it like, bruh, I had to have did that because I wouldn't have really been able to know the value like today. So it's part of the game, man.
Now I feel like if I touch a meal, I feel like I'd be all right. I'd be like, I ain't blowing it.
If I touch it now,
yeah, I'm good.
What? I'm all the way straight.
But I done blew a bag before for sure.
Yeah.
Terrible feeling.
It's like that. Well, listen, man. Tell people what you got coming up, man. Tell them your social media tags, everything where they can find you. Give them all your information, man.
Yeah, every social media at D-RichTv. That's YouTube, Twitter. I'm not really active on Twitter. Instagram, TikTok, everything D-RichTv. And you can expect D-Rich to keep being D-Rich, man, giving y'all gems and, you know, correcting what's going on in the world with the youth, man. There's a lot of things that's going on that I don't speak on that maybe I should start speaking on, but I'm scared if I do, they might start shadow banning my stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world, man. Lil X, all that stuff going. Hey, there's a lot of stuff I stay away from because I know if I start talking about it, they might ban you boys. But follow me all platforms at D-RichTv, man, and just keep expecting good content, man. A lot of stuff on the way.
Fire. Well, again, man, thank you so much for coming on, man. The last thing we have our guests do, man, is we have them lobby for a special guest to come on, man. We've been building this thing, man, just grinding with the podcast. The brand is growing. We getting bigger and bigger guests. We just getting the people who we want to have on here. One of the people that we want to lobby for next, man, is to have Charlamagne the Guy come on. A lot of people know Charlamagne as the radio personality for the Breakfast Club, but for those who do know, Charlamagne is he's a tycoon really in the podcast space. He got his own podcast network, but he's also big in the mental health space, which is something that, you know what I'm saying, I'm passionate about as well. So I feel like having him on this platform, it could really be a purposeful, no pun intended, you know what I'm saying, conversation that we can have, man. So if you could look at that camera right there and tell Charlamagne the Guy why he should be a guest on the Live Your Purpose podcast.
Listen, man, Charlamagne the Guy, I see you always help push people. You got the network, and right here, we got a man from Akron, Ohio, the home of LeBron James, doing this thing, shining a positive light on the city of Akron in some dark times going on around here. So this is something positive going on, and you in support, got your own podcast network. You never know. Live Your Purpose podcast could be on the Black Network.
Black Effect
Network. So listen, Charlamagne, we got StreamYard, Zoom, all that. We can set it up, make it happen. I know you got the equipment over there. 45 minutes, Charlamagne. I know you got it, man.
That's it.
Come on.
Let's do it, man. Well, listen, man, another episode in the books, man. D-Rich, man, thank you again, man. Listen, if you want to support the merch, go to lypp.org. Be a subscriber on the YouTube channel, Live Your Purpose Podcast. Again, man, another episode. We out. Peace.